Welcome to Michelle's Opinions. On this episode of Michelle's Opinions, I actually did a surprise interview, which was even a surprise to me because I thought of it last moment while I was at my doctor's today, so I whipped out my cell phone as he actually agreed. And we got some pretty interesting information. And I'm bringing it here to you today for you guys to hear what he had to say. So, this one's called Interview with MD about the ME, ayahuasca, DMT, and spirituality. Also, if this goes well, he's actually considering and contemplating doing this again, as long as I can keep his anonymity. After all, he is a practicing physician. He's been my doctor for over 10 years, so over that course of time, we've built a friendship and a trust, so he knows that I will keep everything safe in that regard for him. So, yeah, let's get into what happened at the doctor's office today. Hey, I'm at my doctor's office and I'm going to see if I can ask him some questions. Let's see if he'll answer them and play along. And yeah, let's see what we can get from him. Okay, I'm in here with my doctor, and he's agreed anonymously to answer a few questions. First, we're going to hit him with some mandalas, and then we're going to talk to him a little bit about the psychedelics, the ayahuasca, DMT, LSD, PCP, those kind of things that people are using to try to achieve higher states of awareness or enlightenment. So, yeah, let's get to it. And let me flip my camera around so we can see him. Hi, doctor. How many people do you remember being in the car when JFK was assassinated?
Well, that's a weird one. I've never seen a weird one, two, three, four. Four.
Four. Okay. Do you remember those books, those children's books that were read from? They're called the Bernstein books. Do you remember it as Bernstein or Bernstein books? AIN or EIN?
You got me on that one. I didn't grow up here in the States.
Okay, that's fine. Let's see, what's another pretty popular one? Oh, I'll just throw this one in for fun. Do you think the Earth is flat or round?
Depends on who you talk to. Should be round.
Okay, great. All right, so now let me ask you some questions on, which is, medical is your profession, and what you think about people using substances to gain enlightenment or to achieve spiritual awareness. Let me give you an example of people talk about using ayahuasca or DMT, or which is kind of like LSD type things, but they say, like with ayahuasca, the plant itself gives you a guide. What's your medical advice on people ingesting these types of things they're making at home into their body?
Well, first of all, like when you're talking about substances, whether it be FDA regulated, like safe, determined to be safe, okay, chemical substances, there's still side effects to be had. And when people start using like self-made herbal based, like over the counter, when there is no government oversight, you never know what you're putting into your body. So toxins probably being the most like concern right here. And when we're looking at these things like the ayahuasca and the psychotropics or psychedelics, the moment you ingest these things, it does alter your consciousness, it alters your awareness and perception. And although there's still like really no like legal law that says this is illegal to be had, but like when you start making home brews and combining these things, I can't see anything good coming out of it. It just shouldn't be done.
Okay. And I want to give you the answer for the JFK, and you can look this up on your own. But in this reality, there's 6 people in the car.
Wow.
And it's I don't know, do you remember the film when we studied it in school? I remember studying it in school. It was a black and white, and it was made by Zucketer. I don't know if I'm saying his name right. There was a film, of the actual, and it was not graphic. I mean, it really wasn't very graphic. It was kind of poorly done, and it was in black and white. Well, now the film that we have is in color. It's in full color, and you actually see his head be removed off of his body. And there are now 6 people in the car.
Huh.
So something to look into.
I have to look that one up on YouTube or something.
Yeah, Google it.
One of the things that I never did get to take in school either was American history.
Oh yeah?
Yeah,
well, you may be really surprised what you find what you remember. A lot of things are much different. One last parting thing before I shut this off is, have you noticed that the moon smiles at us now?
No. I can't remember the last time I looked at the moon. That's another thing too.
Yeah, check it out sometime, because I remember going as a crescent across. It would wax and wane, wax and wane, wax and wane. Well, now, we will sometimes get the regular, but then sometimes we get it horizontally now, not just vertically across, but it's like the Cheshire cat up there smiling at you.
So is the Earth's axis tilting? It's only a way for it to do that, right? I have to look at it.
Yeah, the magnetic poles are shifting, or and the land down under. When I say the land down under, what do you think of?
We're talking about Australia.
Right. And what if I was to tell you that Australia is no longer the land down under?
Why would you say that?
Because there's other continents now much lower than.
I guess it's on perspective, right? If you live in the northern hemisphere like we do, or if you live in the southern hemisphere. But who's to determine north-south except by the polarity? It's true. It's arguable. It's up for debate.
Even South America now is not South of America. It's more. It's still south, but it's southeast.
Shifting.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
That's true. If you think about it, what we used to know, they always change. I mean, there's always new developments and stuff that'll come out. You can never trust the constantness of the universe. I guess that'll be a better way to put it, right? So expect change. I would hope people out there are gonna at least listen to their bodies and not try and find a way out by using chemical substances that is not on the FDA monitor list. I mean, coming from an Asian background, okay, so you know a little bit about my ethnicity. The Asian background, we do believe in a lot of herbals and homeopathic therapies, but they do have a basis that is further studied by using modern medicine and modern chemistry, because most of the drugs we use nowadays has a herbal base. It just, when somebody turns to a substance like this to alter the perception of reality, I mean, maybe Alice in Wonderland is where you want to be, but I hope that all of us would, think better of ourselves and achieve our own spiritual awareness, okay, by using other methods like meditation, okay, so you can look within yourself, right, through prayer, through, having a faith in the higher being, rather than turning to just some, who knows what these things are. It's a form of plants, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
that's just my 2 cents. Now, granted, don't take this as like gospel written in stone medical advice. It's just my personal opinion, and having a mixture of Asian background when it comes to herbals and also modern medicine. I still wouldn't choose to advise anyone to use stuff like this.
And if someone was to go and do something like this, do you recommend that they go with somebody who has experience with this kind of doing these kind of experiences? You mentioned shaman and people who do this as ritual and things like that, or brew it up in your kitchen and just try it out by yourself without a sitter there watching and making sure you're okay.
Oh well, if you really want a fast train ticket to the great beyond, do it yourself. But even for say like the shamans and the Native American community, peyote is the plant or the cactus that they go after. When it comes to like trying to get that spiritual linkage, and it's only really kind of proven to be used like in certain rituals, and it is heavily regulated. Okay, so even that, there's a layer of safety built in. Number one, definitely would not recommend doing anything like this in the first place. But two, if you're gonna really try and say like experience for yourself, then at the very least do it with some sort of a safety background. Okay, have a friend in place, someone who's gonna call for help. Okay, or hey, doing everything to the hospital in case something happens. Someone can find you and help you.
I agree with that. I completely agree with that. And now this is really truly going to be the last one.
Mm-hmm.
Do you believe, or is it in your opinion, that people who love themselves and actually care for themselves would ingest willy-nilly just chemicals to try to reach enlightenment? Do you think it's dangerous, or do or is this something that would be inflicting harm to yourself? If you're not thinking things through and you're just rushing into things.
Well, I think anyone that is trying to reach spiritual enlightenment, okay, and if they truly are in tune with their spirit and their body, there's no reason to use any additional like stimulants and chemicals to get you there. Okay, I mean, if you really love your body and you treat your body as a temple, why are you going to put extra stuff in there when you don't need to? So keep
when
it
your
clean.
your body makes it itself.
Yeah, just you should be able to do this and without having to rely on a foreign substance. Let's put it this way. Okay, so keep your temple clean and stay healthy, and we'll all live to 100, right?
That's right. That's right. Oh, and I'm doing a thing on Enoch. And did you know that the actual days were 18-hour days? So imagine how old we really are. I just had to give you one more whammy. And that is Dr. Stephen, MD. And he's going to remain anonymous. But there you go. From the professional's mouth to your ears. Take nothing, on my channel as gospel. Always seek your own doctor and medical advice, and always share what you know and listen so we can grow. So in conclusion, I got an amazing off-the-cuff, unprepared interview with my doctor. Hopefully next time I'll be able to have note cards, so I'll have, something to go off of. And if there's questions that you guys want to ask, put them in the comments below, and we'll see, if he will go ahead and do this with me again. I have to say that after the camera was off, again, we went back into some Mandela effects, and he was unaware that there's a "the" in front of the Home Depot. He was calling it Home Depot, and many other anomalies that he's very interested in. He's very open-minded, and he has his cultural upbringing. So a lot of these things that we were discussing are parts of his own culture. So he not only, is a practicing physician, but he also has the understanding of the rituals and the different plants and the different ceremonial things that they did and the care that they would take in preparation and the safety precautions that were taken. So I hope you guys all enjoyed this. What a treat. And remember to always share what you know so we can all listen and grow. I will talk to you guys all soon. Have a great day.